What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about Faraday Future. I want to go over some of the data points, what's been really coming out associated to the company, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Faraday did have a pretty kick-ass Friday, went up 9.85%. So even though Friday was kind of volatile, it did close fairly strong. And the reasoning is why it kind of seemed to have had FOMO is because effective on March the 10th, they are going to be changing their ticker. And so ultimately it's going to be changing to FFAI. So that does prompt a share count. So for those individuals that do believe that there is naked shorting happening through FTDs and various things, technically a share count would temporarily rectify that. So you didn't really see shorts return all that much on Friday. In fact, they did increase 179,000 shares. 44.47% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 17.51 million shares overall are being shorted. So that, in my opinion, was why it did go up. A lot of people are under the impression that there's going to be a squeeze come Monday. So just take all this with a grain of salt, of course, because you never know what could come Monday, but there's going to be a ticker change for the common stock as well as the warrants. So for those of you that have the warrants, that is also going to be changing. The only other thing that really has happened recently was this. So on Friday, March the 7th, there was that shareholder meeting. I don't have any shares, so I wasn't able to participate or do anything for this. And even when I look on Reddit, interestingly enough, nobody is really talking about this. So I don't know the results of it. I didn't really kind of look too deep as far as the time of exactly when this is going to be held, but it says March the 7th. So the two things were going to be for the raising of the authorized share account, and then this one right here is just private placement proposal. So nothing overly crazy. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know your general thoughts on that. As far as if this or any of these was to be approved or denied, I don't really see that big of a deal for the share price. If, let's say, proposal one was truly denied, then I think the company itself might be put in a very difficult predicament. But all in all, nothing really crazy. There was one thing that did come out, and I get it. I always like to play devil's advocate. I like to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I don't sugarcoat it. So if a company does something good, I'm going to say it. If a company is doing something bad, I'm going to say it. Again, no sugarcoating. I did see this post, and so this came out ultimately on March the 4th, and it shows 𝗪𝗧𝗪 was in the Middle East. And honestly, after I read this and kind of listened to him speak, it was rather inspirational. So I can see exactly why this did prompt the stock price to go higher, because Faraday, even though things seem to be like kind of sketchy and whatever, they seem to be finally management actually is doing something. So we'll just have to wait and see on how this all eventually does play out, and if they are actually able to really get things going by, I think they stated May. So right here, so we're on track for full operation by early May. So if they can actually do that, then they might turn me into a believer, because I've always been at this stage with Faraday. Show me, prove me wrong, management. I personally feel that they've lied quite a lot in the past, and they need to earn, I think, investors' trust. And so yeah, if they actually do get things going by early May, then they deserve a round of applause, and they might actually, like I said, turn things around. So let me know your viewpoint on that. On May the 16th as well, they're going to be having a FF Open AI Day. So I think this as well will be a pretty good thing. They've talked on how they are far superior to American EVs for technology wise. I've always not agreed with that, because I cover a lot of other EVs, one of which is Lucid, and they win awards after award after award, and they are by far number one. So it's interesting to see Faraday just blanket say that they're better than American EVs. So I don't know. I don't really believe that, but this actual day, so on March the 16th, might be that changing. So we'll wait and see. Unfortunately, to be fully fair, all of Faraday's events that they do are overhyped and then they just under deliver, so they're always kind of seen as flops. So usually the stock price does go down after a lot of these, but hopefully this one is different. But let me know your general thoughts on that. Giving you a quick overview of, let's say, the options that did happen on Friday. 68,000 in calls, 31,000 in puts. 63% of all the options being done were optimistic in nature. And of the call options that were purchased, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that $1.50 to $2 range next week. And then the week of March the 21st, so that would be encumbering their AI day, there's consensus for it to be around that too. Bears, not really much activity. So in the short term, they're anticipating for it to be staying sub $1.50. And then pretty much mid 2025, anticipating for it to be sub 50 cents. So let me know your viewpoint on that. One transaction on the secondary market above $100,000 did occur on Friday, so you're still not really seeing that full commitment from big institutions. But like I said, if they can actually get their stuff together by early May, then yeah, I could see some big money possibly getting behind Faraday, and obviously holding it long term and stuff like that. But let me know your general thoughts on Faraday. Are you buying? Are you selling? Like, what is your kind of takeaway from all of this? Like I said, I think this was probably the most inspirational that they have done any PR in a while now. And I'm not really a big fan of this whole ticker change. I get it. Yes, it might help with shorts and rectify that type of issue. But I think that they're just trying to transition and forget about their past of FFIE and a lot of their history. That's just my viewpoint, of course, but what do I know? So let me know your thoughts on Faraday. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, if you are looking for some kick-ass buy signals, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point. And despite the volatility this past week, all my stocks I called out for the companies unveiling their earnings were exactly on point. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.